Hey, how you doing? We are talking about styling with classes today using CSS and something called classes in our HTML to really help our styling game level up. Okay, good to have you here. We're at chapter 1, unit 19, and styling with classes. So right off the bat, you can fork this blank sandbox. I've already done that here in my tab. And call that styling with classes. I'm going to copy that. And so once you've forked it, you should have blank static forked right there. I'm going to click that. That, of course, is the name of our project, styling with classes. And then right off the bat, all right, I'm going to go and make sure that this is, I like to keep things orderly, styling with classes. I'm going to throw into my unit 1. Boom, because I know that's where it's at. Some people even like include their number here with at the top of that if you want to do that. All right, great. So here we are. I'll jump back into styling with classes and let's begin. So type it out, don't copy and paste. You know what I mean? There's a lot that's learned in the muscle memory. See if you can beat me. I got on my second screen here. And so let's get going. See what you can do about identifying what each line is doing, because we've talked through most of these lines. There's your document declaration, right? When this file gets sent to a browser, that says, hey, you're about to look at an HTML, and then we have our HTML tag, and it's like, and here's your HTML. Everything inside of this opener and closer is going to be your HTML package, just a file. And of course, it's going to have its closer. Great. That's going to be at the very bottom. And then inside the HTML, there are going to be two main things going on. There's the head, right? Boom. And we have our body. Yeah. And what? There we go. And inside the head comes like instructions and some like meta stuff, and then inside the body is actually like the content, the words and stuff on the website, web page, the delivery. Here we go. All right, so inside the head, we're going to include a couple things. We're going to have a link to our style sheet, which is going to be located inside CSS styles.css, which we got to create. We haven't created that yet. Here we go. It is in fact a style sheet, and the type, type is tag/CSS. Okay, looking good. That needs to close. Great, fantastic. Now we're also going to include the title, and the title is going to be styling. Oh, do I still have it? Hey, what do you know? That's kind of ugly. Just cleaning things up here. All right, so we got a link to our style sheet, we got our title, and while we're on the subject, let's actually create that style sheet where we can do all of our styling and stuff. So that's inside of a folder, so we'll create a new folder. They call it directories here, and that's going to be CSS. And then inside of there, we're going to put a new file called styles.css. Yes, very good. Great. All right, fantastic. We can just leave that. We're not going to put any styles in yet. And we got our index set up. We got our head set up here, and our body. We're going to start putting some content inside of there. So inside the body, we start off with a header, an H1 that says paragraphs of text. And doesn't this just have great? And then we have our H2, fantastic. That's going to be plus an intro at the top. Now we're just setting something up here the content is not as important on this one. We're setting something up so we can really look at styles and see what they do. So, do you remember what an H1 will do opposed to an H2? Opposed to a P. Here is an intro. Boom. Lorem ipsum. Oh, these don't really look like words. And in fact, at this point, I will give you permission here if you want. Just copy and paste these 3 paragraphs because they are nonsense and so hard to type complete nonsense like that. So here we go. That is something called lorem ipsum. You've probably seen it around before. It looks like Latin. It's not Latin. You're in Google Text Even will try and translate it, Google Translate. But it's fake. It's like fake Latin going on here. Of course, at the beginning we had some real words, but all that's some fake business that's used in the industry is like filler, where actual words or content would go. So it's like put words here would be the message here. Okay, and so then after those we have our H3, which says here are a list of vital things. Oh, I'm sure. Not H2. Yeah, I'm still getting used to this code sandbox. It's the IED, the way that you're typing works a little bit differently than I usually use VS Code. So sorry about some mistakes and autofills and stuff here. So we have an organized list going on with a few list items in it. So we have eating is one of our vitals. I'll just grab that a couple times. And eating is sleeping. And fun, of course, is super important. Let's see here. Do we have an ender? Oh, it does. Oh, and it auto formats. So we have the end of our unorganized list. And you're right. I do have an extra space here in the list. These spaces don't really do anything, and I actually wouldn't have those there for a lot of stuff. I wouldn't actually have them. And then we have a finishing paragraph, which says, if you have any questions, and we have our strong tag here, which we'll kind of move away from. Oh, we shouldn't have a class yet. Let me take that out. So strong tag here, which we'll move away from in the future once we get into spans, and that's coming up pretty soon. But for right now, we'll use it to give a little inline. Do you remember what strong does? But you can. Oh, and an anchor, an inline anchor. What is an anchor again? What's this thing gonna be? Oh yeah, it's a link, and the href has a mail to demo@test.com. Any guesses to what that's gonna do? I'm gonna take that class off of there. That shouldn't be here yet. All right, great. So here we go. We got an href, and that will be the end of this anchor opening tag, and then we say email me, and then the close of the anchor, sure, if you need anything, and then we will close our paragraph. All right, so take a moment, check out, see what you think. What do you think about this line? So this is all one line. It's a paragraph. Inside that paragraph, we have a couple inline items. We have a strong, and we have an anchor. Remember, an anchor is a type of link, and this is a special link that has instructions mail to, which is going to be a mailing link. This will make it it'll open your mail, whatever your browser set to open for your mail. Okay, let's check it out. Save this. And we'll take a look at what it looks like. We could do it either right here. Let's do it in a separate pop out so it looks like a legit website as it is. One, cool. Oh yeah, Header 1, header 2, paragraphs, sure. Our unorganized list, and oh yeah, that strong inline within the paragraph, and then our email anchor. Great. And if I did open this, then it would open up, yeah, my mail program, which I don't actually want to. Hey, force quit, stop, eject. Right, so, okay, cool. That is what's going on there, and I don't really need this here anymore. All right, so now in terms of where we're going for classes, because we haven't yet introduced the main topic here today. That was overall, all that should be review and some practice. But what we're talking about here is introducing something called class. Haha, classes. So let's throw an intro class onto the first paragraph, and I think you'll see immediately what's going on. And remember, oh yeah, let's get a quick reminder actually on styling even. So boom, let's bring this back out here. If I wanted to change my paragraphs, let's make all of our paragraphs blue. We could go to our styles just to see that if our styles are hooked up. So if I go to, let's see here, I want to grab my paragraphs, so I just do paragraphs and, hey, let's see, and we say change the color to red, aha, and save it. Booyah! Everything that was paragraph tag is now red, aha. Noticing that the anchor tag actually overwrote that because it is a little bit closer. Fantastic. Now we're gonna get into, well, what if I just wanted to do something to like that top, that first like intro paragraph. Let's say we want to make it like a little bit skinnier and italicized to indicate that it is in fact a intro. Let's do that. First I want to get rid of this red. Save it. Okay, and we'll go, the way that we're going to do it is like this. We're going to implement something called a class, and that paragraph, that first paragraph, we're going to give it a class and equals quotation marks, and we'll call that intro. Okay, now what this allows us to do is anything that has the class intro, I can target with that little like tag here in my styles. So the class is an intro, and to say that something's a class, to indicate that in CSS, you put a period, a dot, a decimal at the top of it. So if I do dot intro, then I'm now targeting the intro class. Just to be clear on that, if I call this color now, COLOR, red, boom, and saved it, you'll notice, hey, what the heck, that didn't work. INTRO. There we go. All right, see, spelling really matters. Yes, make it first thing I do when something doesn't work, I'm like, everything's saved, yes. Second, did I spell everything right? Usually not. So spelling matters, and enough on that. So that is how classes work. Now check this out. I can add that class to more stuff. So if I'm like, hey, I want H3, this guy down here, to also be red or have that styling, I can say, hey, then you also get the intro is what we call it, styling. I save it, and then boom, now that's red as well. Of course, I don't really want any of that red or that guy to be labeled as intro, but just so you see, like, that's how classes work. You can give a class to any of these tags, any of these things with tags, including inlines, like that anchor. We could give him a class if we wanted to. As well, we can add IDs. We'll get into that later. So, class, boom, fantastic. There it is. We said we wanted to make that skinny. Yes, so to the task at hand, we were like, hey, let's make that skinny. So I'll give it a width of 50%. And I will also give it a font style of italics font. Style, not size, style. of italics. Boom. Save it. There we go. Okay. So, well, now we have an intro. Yeah, very good. Now this guy's at 50%, like he won't go all the way to the end, and that'll look a little bit different here. Yeah. And of course, it doesn't have it. There it is. Yeah, 50% and italicized. Fantastic. What else we got going on here in the curriculum? Great. Similarly, we might make a class for the final paragraph. Final, we'll do that. So for our final paragraph, let's give that one his own class. Class equals quotation mark final. Save it. Let's go over to our styles. And I like to keep these in alphabetical order, but I really don't. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, C, D, F. So F comes first. So we'll go final and yeah, master's degree over here, and I still got to do alphabetizing. I gotta like count out the alphabet. Whatever, you know, no judgment. What did they say they wanted in our final? They're like, hey, let's also adjust the width of the final, and we'll make that at the 75%. We will give it a font style of italics, and we'll also give a font weight of bold. And that can be numerically, as we saw earlier, like I did in an earlier video, or with Word. And we save that. Fantastic. And our final paragraph does in fact look different now. It's italicized and bold. Okay, fantastic. So now you're seeing how classes work, and classes can be added not just to one item, but multiple items. Are there more things that we've got to cover in the curriculum? Let's see here. So it should more or less look like this. They also gave it important. Did I miss an important? Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so important. Let's make a couple things important. Let's make the email important, they say. Let's make our the list important. Okay, cool. So the list, we want everyone to be, hey, everyone really pay attention to this. So we're like, all right, that one's going to be an important class. IMPORTANT. I'm just going to copy it. We'll say oh yes. So boom, let's make this email also important. Right now it's blue, let's make it red. Both of these guys are red, so it'll be like class equals boom, boom. This is important class. Great. Save it. And they want us to make that red, so important will go here. PORTANT. That curly bracket, and yeah, I like to have a space there. You don't need it. And we'll make the color red. Save. Boom. What do you know? Got it. Got these guys red. So a couple things to note here. One, hey, check it out. When you apply it to something like an unordered list, yes, the parent of a nested group of nested items, then these nested items may inherit those. It's called inheritance, and inheritance rules can actually get a little bit complicated, but there it is. So we say that these list items inherited the importance. Yeah, so great. And it also can overwrite classes, and class styling can overwrite defaults such as the anchors, the emails quality of being blue can be overridden, yeah, by classes and styling. Okay, cool. I believe that this is all that we want. Yes, and yes it is. All right, cool. Happy coding, everybody. Thanks for being with me.